Something from where stopped. We shall proceed with the objective permanency. The object permanency. This is a tendency to be aware of that something exists even when not seen. E.g., that an ant always carries for them sweets in her bag. This kid always has an object permanency. Whenever this ant comes at home and comes with the sweets, even if this ant has not come with the sweets at home, this kid always know that in aunt's bag there are always sweets. Why? Because he or she is used to this tendency. For another example, whenever he knows that uncle comes home with a vehicle, whenever he sees uncle, just know that he knows that sometimes the vehicle is there, even though the vehicle is not there. So they always have that object permanence. They think that everything is permanent. They always ask, uncle, where is the car? Aunt, where are the sweets? They always give me sweets. And some sweets, Dad, uncle, I want to give me a ride. Yet, because why are they saying that? Because they always have this permanence. They think that everything is permanent. Then there is physical concept development. Under physical concept development, a child begins to identify categories of objects and separate them. If plates, cups, dishes, spoons, and forks are mixed up, a child can separate them at this stage. For instance, utensils are in one basket, in a sink. This kid can separate these. Let me put the dishes aside. Let me put the cups aside. Let me put the forks and spoons aside. He or she at this stage, this kid or this baby is able to separate these items. That's a physical concept, or the physical concept development. Physically, there is this thing development. Then we shall move to the initiative stage. This takes place from 4 to 7 years. So under this stage, there are mental characteristics. So you're going to look at some of the mental characteristics that always take place under this. That always take place under this stage. Sorry that there have been here some technical problems, but I'm trying to set them out. The mental characteristics. For instance, the symbolic function, i.e., the ability to mentally represent an object that may not be present. At the sight of a flask, the child knows that there is something to drink. Oh, sorry, you have already seen this. We had the mental characteristics. There is egocentrism, the tendency to perceive and understand the world from their own points of view. E.g., everything is mine, clothing, TV, etc. So at this stage, the kid knows that everything is his or hers. Give me my cup, give me my spoon, give me my phone, even though this thing doesn't belong to that kid. By this stage, they have developed that egocentrism. Then there is centration, the tendency to focus only on an aspect of an event. The child may think half a big glass is more than a full small glass. So they always have this that there's something. They have given us an example that a child may think half of a big glass is more than a full small glass. In Jajagrant, half your glass in nene is bigger than a small glass. There's always that centration. Then there is reversible thinking. This is the inability to link up different issues backwards, e.g., counting from 20 to 1 consistently. So at times there's the inability. Finally, they can count from 1 to 20, but if you tell them count from 20 to 1, they always find it hard. So at this stage, from 4 to 7 years, they are not able. But later on, we shall see that there is a certain stage where they are able to do. So then there is non-transformation. This is a process of being unable to mentally record process of change from one to another, e.g., being unable to put pulled stones in a line. This is lack of inductive or deductive reasons. Fine, they can pile stones, but they are unable being that an example here that they are unable to put polystones into a line. There spellings it was Kolachi. Good afternoon once again. Seen the previous content as far as human growth is concerned. Let us proceed to another stage of development, and this is the concrete operation stage. It starts from 7 years to 11 years. Let us happen to see the characteristics of the child's mental process from 7 to 11 years. So under this we're going to see what does majorly this kid thinks about, and where does his thinking rotate from. So you are being told that first of all, their mental processes are coherent and integrated in thinking. Integrated, it is mixed. They think of various things. Then coherent, at times they tend to think about things which are fine, which are okay in nature. Then the child develops the ability to organize and manipulate the world. Under this, the child is able to organize some things, to put them into order, because we shall say that initially there's an example here, so that the child can't count from 20 backwards, but from 7 to 11 years the child is able to do so. So they're able to organize. They are able to organize things as if instructed to do so. Then the child develops logic operations as regards to quantity measurements, time, space, etc. So under this, it is at this stage that the child, for instance, at this stage they have learned how to count numbers. So they are always more interested in counting 1, 2, 3. Almost every time they're almost counting. At times, this is when they learn to know the time that it's 9 p.m., it's 4 p.m. So it's at this time that they happen to know how to count things when it comes to measurements or in quantity matter. If you happen to give them sticks or give them something and the thing is countable, they're always more interested to count. They start counting. So it is one of the things that develops into their brains. Another one, there's classification. They develop the ability to arrange objects in terms of color, size, etc. So in most cases they are able to organize things, right? Depending on the color, depending on the size, because at this stage their brain is developing and their brain is kind of bit focused, and they are getting to be stable as far as their brain is concerned. Another one that is systematic, i.e. the ability to arrange objects in ascending or descending order. So early on we had seen that they can't arrange stones in their order, but at this time around they are able to arrange things in their order. Another thing, even they can also count from 22 to 1. At this stage they are able, but initially, as we had seen, is it from 2 to 4 years they are not able, but from 7 to 11 years they are able to do so. Then there's conservation, ability to deal with the relationships between different events. And these learners, these babies or these children are able to deal with various relationships. Even if you happen to change this kid at school, they are able to deal with a new environment that they will find. Even of the various environments they live in, they are able to deal with them, because at this time their cognitive ability is trying to stabilize and is trying to settle, to come into human, and also they try to be kind of bit responsible people in society, even in schools. Even it is at this age that these kids always vie they always struggle a lot to go in for prefectorial positions when it comes to primary schools, because their brain is focused, right? Then there's reversibility, the ability to link up different states or elements backwards, so they can remember that if this has happened, but initially it has ever happened to me when I was at this age. Though they cannot remember the exact age, but they can reverse and remember what happened. Even if you find somebody, Mom, you ever found that man there? I've ever seen that guy somewhere. He has ever come at home. I've ever seen that uncle of mine. So they're able to reverse and remember what has happened in the past. Then the spatial operations, i.e. the ability to perceive relationships between moving objects. Under this, they can know that is a vehicle moving, that is a bicycle moving, those are people moving. So these are some of the things that are in this stage as far as human growth is concerned.